Hello, I'm back with some more tales of LLM insanity and hilarity. So I was writing some VGA code these days for a DOS game jam, and I had a bug that had to do with horizontal per pixel scrolling in mode X. So I thought, why not give the copilot another chance and see if it can figure it out for me, find my bug. So I pasted my code. By the way, the bug is right there, so you can figure it out by just looking at this code. And so it says that my sequence is almost correct, but the bug is right there in my last two instructions. And the root cause is that I never load the pixel pan value into AL, which is complete bollocks, because obviously I'm loading the scroll amount into EAX and ending it with 3, which is slightly wrong, but anyway, that was not my problem. And this obviously modifies AL, because AL is the lowest 8 bits of EAX. But no, it insists that I should actually, that this is the fault, that I never wrote to AL and that it still contains the previous value that I loaded before that, so 13H. And that the correct thing to do would be to explicitly move the VGA scroll value into AL, which is, as I said, complete bollocks. So I said that this makes no sense, and the AL is part of AEX, and it comes back with, you're absolutely right that AL is the low 8 bits of AEX. That part is not in dispute, apparently, but it insists that my code never writes into AL, which makes absolutely no sense again, and it says some of the same things. The corrected version is exactly the same thing as it gave me before. So I repeat myself that there is no way. I clarified that there is no way to modify EAX without affecting AL. So what you're telling me makes no sense. And he doubles down, and then the insanity starts, and then the LLM starts having a real-time aneurysm. So it gives me some code where it moves into AEX. So this is the fix. This is the correct code. So it does the same thing that I did. It moves into EAX, the scroll value, ends with 3, whatever. And then it says move AL, which makes absolutely no sense, because that does nothing. It copies the value from AL into AL, so that's an op, basically. And then it still understands that it does nothing, understands in quotes that it does nothing, so it puts a comment there, wrong, does nothing. Okay, so you need move AL, again the same thing, comment, still wrong. So correct is move AL, no, still wrong. The real fix is move AL, and it still understands that this is still wrong, again understands in quotes. And it keeps going on. The actual correct instruction is move AL, comment no. The correct one is move AL, no. This is the code it emits. It continues. It continues. Move AL, move AL, move. Sorry, let's be explicit. Move AL, no. Correct. Move AL, no. The correct instruction is move AL, no. Okay, enough. Here's the real fix. Move AL, no. And it keeps going like that. Move AL, pages and pages of move AL, move AL into AL, pages and pages of it. The correct instruction, the actual correct instruction, and every time it also puts a comment that says no. This is insanity. Move AL, it keeps going. Move. Look, I'm scrolling pretty fast now. Move AL, no. Move AL, move. No, pages and pages and pages of move AL, and at some point in the end, it just gives up. Let me see if I can, because it's still going. Move AL for pages and pages and pages. And at some point, it gives up and says the correct instruction is move, and it just stops there. This is the best thing I've seen in a week. This is fantastic. I don't know what else. I don't know what else is the use of these LLMs, but at the very least, they're an infinite source of humor and hilarity. Thank you very much for watching.